Welcome to a C4K lesson for site coordinators entitled Building Relationships, Building a Strong Team. You know, we've spent quite a bit of time talking about the importance of building individual relationships and that we do that through time, care, and belief. But as a site coordinator, it is also incredibly important that you build a solid relationship with the team as a whole. And so that's what we're going to spend a little time on today, is talking about how to build that relationship with the team as a whole. You need to understand that after school is a team sport. It takes all of us. It takes every single person that's in the program, students, your staff members, you, and all those auxiliary people to really be sure that your program is going to be effective. When everyone is working together consistently, you are sending a message to young people that the way you get along in this world is to cooperate, is to work towards common goals, to be part of a winning team. This is one of the 21st century workplace skills, and so your modeling that is essential for young people to see. You are always looking for common ground with the people that are on your team. Now, obviously, individually, you're going to do that through time, care, and belief, but you need to translate that into a much larger vision for your team and spend time together as a team. Take care of one another as a team, and then also to believe that the team can be more effective than any single individual. You might ask yourself, well, what is a team? Well, a team is certainly more than a group. A group of people gather together, and they can be a group for a very long time without ever becoming a team. A team has certain characteristics. Not only are they a group that gathers together, but they are a group of people who have a single team purpose. They have a reason for working together. They have a common goal that they have all agreed upon. They have this clear task, and they understand that they are interdependent, that no one person can get to the end on their own, that it requires all of them working together in order to be successful. A team is also a gathering of people who believe that working together as a team is the most important thing they can do. They are willing to set aside what they personally might want or desire, or that would be best just for them, in order to see to it that the team's needs are met and that the team can move forward. Also, in order to be a team, you have to reward the team as a team. I want you to think about rings that are given out to national basketball champions. Certainly, every single person on the team, even those players who never had 1 second in the game, receive the championship ring, because they are an integral part of the team, and they help to get the whole team to the point of winning the championship. Now, the individual reward will come perhaps in one player might be traded and another might get a bonus, but they do receive a team reward. The team is honored and valued. And so when you put those things together, that is what changes a group into a team and allows them to then become a high-performing team. You need to know that being in a high-performing team does not happen by accident. It's not just the luck of the draw that you happen to get everybody who was willing to be a hard worker and work on the team. Teams that are effective happen intentionally. It is essential that in a high-performing team, each and every member of the team, not just the team leader, but all of the members of the team, understand that they are gatekeepers, that they are responsible to ensure that the team performs well and solidly as a team. Finally, a high-performing team will go out of its way to be interdependent, to be inclusive, to get everybody's input on things that need to be made. They will work in a preventative way rather than having to make last-minute decisions, and they will function as one cohesive unit working together. If you've ever seen people riding bicycles in tandem, when they are working together as a team, the bicycle propels forward because you do not have players or riders working against one another. So it's important that in a team in after school, we have that same commitment to the ebb and flow of working together. One of the really important parts of working with your team is that you have a shared vision, that you believe things in common. One of the very easiest ways to do that, other than simple conversation, is to share stories. There are wonderful stories that you can share that talk about the importance of teamwork. One of those is the lessons of the geese. And in the lessons of the geese, they present several facts about geese and how they fly in formation, and then they translate that to why that's effective as a team. So sharing that with your staff will help bring all of them on board with the same story, the same understanding of what's expected of them to move as a team. Another great story that will do that is the story of the young man and the starfish, and how sometimes we can look at what a team member is doing and not think it's important, but realize that if we all get together and support the one person's efforts, we will then have a team response which will be much more effective. So had it been a team of people on the beach tossing the starfish back into the water, they would not have just been able to say, well, we supported this one, we helped this one as they tossed it in, but as they all tossed in, they would have magnified their effort. So finding stories that you can share with your staff is incredibly important, and it will help make that sense of team more real and more concrete for them. Highly effective teams have systems in place. The importance of a system is that you can replicate it. It's not contingent upon one person having the knowledge and being the implementer. It allows multiple people to implement the same sort of procedure, process, or task. So very high-performing teams have systems in place. In the after school, some of the systems you might have in place would be a hiring system, one that would allow you to recruit the very best people for the work that you're going to do. A training system to be sure that those people know exactly what you expect of them. Maybe it is an attendance system so that you can capture student attendance, or an accounting system so that you can keep track of the invoices, who you've paid, and who has paid you, so that you can always have your finances in good shape. Whatever that system is, remember that the importance of the system is that it allows you to replicate effort so that many people are working in the same way toward the same end. High-performing teams hire the right people. Jim Collins, I think, says it best in his book, Good to Great. He says, get the right people in the right seat on the bus. And that's so important. You have to be sure that people have an alliance with your values and with your vision. You can teach skills, but if they aren't a person that fits into the mold that you need, they probably won't be successful, and you'll find that there's a lot of animosity on your team. So you need to decide, is work ethic important? Do you need people who are going to work until the job is done? Is that how your team functions together? If that's the case, then work ethic's going to be a top priority for you and your team as you are hiring new people. Another thing that you might be looking at is attitude. Maybe you are in tough times, and what you need is somebody that has a sunny disposition and a very positive attitude, and will always see the glass as half full rather than half empty. Maybe you're hiring for a particular skill. When you look at your whole team, you realize that there isn't anybody on the team who is a person who really pays close attention to detail. So when you hire a new member of the team, you might want to look for someone who has that set of skills so that you can find a harmonic balance in your team. Finally, I think one of the really important things you can do when you are hiring a new team member is to be sure that they are willing to be held accountable for results and for quality work and for high performance. If you have a person who has a strong work ethic and also is willing to be held accountable for the work they do, you can have a great addition to your team. When you take a look at training, you need to understand that there's training and there's development. While you will train everyone, you will soon discover that everyone does not really want to be developed. They are part of the team for the short haul, but really not for the long haul. So it's important that you have both training and development opportunities. When you are training, you are really working on the competency of the person. You are teaching them the skills they need to do this job that they've been hired to do really well and be a good fit with the rest of the team. If you are developing a team member, then you are also going to be building their competency so that they could take on new roles, new positions, and bring more value add to the team later on down the road. When you do your training, try and organize it in bite-sized chunks. Instead of just saying, here's this laundry list of things that you need to learn how to do to become competent in this job, talk about your program in bite-sized chunks. One of my favorite ways to divide it is to look before kids come to the program in a pre-opening, and if you're a full-day employee, that would be including a pre-opening, which is while you're there at work on your own, and then the pre-opening would be when the rest of your staff gathers, but before the young people get there. And then you have an opening. You have rotations, which include homework, enrichment, academic support, physical activity, nutrition, clubs, those kinds of things. And then you have a closing. And then you have a post-closing routine to be sure that the building is secure and that people are ready to go home. So if you want to do some competency training in each of those divisions of your after-school program day, that might be helpful to people so they know exactly what that you expect of them during what time of the day. If you're working on the capacity of a person, one of the things you need to be sure that you're including is the opportunity to help them blend and braid a wide variety of trainings and experiences so that they can connect the dots to see the whole. No matter which person you're training, a person that you're training for competency or a person you're training for capacity or both, you need to be sure that you follow up in the field and give them a lot of support and coaching while they're actually trying to implement the training, because otherwise the training is something that they soon forget, they'll get frustrated and they won't try it and they won't grow. So follow-up coaching in the field is incredibly important. Finally, it's really important that you help team members work together to create solid relationships. And that can certainly be an ongoing part of your training and your development so that you are constantly putting people in positions to get to know one another, to learn something about each other, to develop that commonality that will allow them to function together as a high-performing team.